Hello. All right, so this week we read chapter 15, which had to do with gestures and sign language. For my project, for my applying linguistics into the classroom, I wanted to focus in on gestures specifically. I decided to do this as a video because I want to exemplify the difference between what it looks like to use gestures and what it looks like to not use gestures. For the TEK that I wanted to apply this to, there is actually a language, arts, and reading TEK, and there's only one for elementary school that talks about gestures, and it is for grade 5, 1C. It says, give an organized presentation employing eye contact, speaking rate, volume, enunciation, natural gestures, and conventions of language. This is one of those TEKs that is built upon itself grade by grade, and gestures is actually not implemented until the 5th grade, so that's why we would be focusing on it at this point. What I would want my students to do is I would want them to choose a topic of something that they themselves are super interested in and they are something that they're excited about. If we focus in on something that they choose to talk about, they'll already be comfortable with most of the language, so they're not having to focus on too much. They could learn some new words, maybe add a couple of new sentence structures, something like that if we're looking at 5th grade. But for the most part, it's something they're already very comfortable with and something they don't have to worry about. So then what they would do is they would record themselves exactly like I'm doing now, and they would talk about whatever it is that they're really excited about. The main goal for them is to then, in the end, present to the class about this, 30 seconds, a minute, and something very low stress, nothing that they really need to worry about. But that way we can see how they're implementing those gestures. So for this project, what I would want them to do is to start out, and they would record themselves 30 seconds talking about something that they love, incorporating gestures. Then do another clip, talk about the exact same thing, staying so still. Maybe they can move their head a little bit, but there can't be any gestures. And I want them to see how as we talk and we use our hands to emphasize and to add meaning, which is what it says in our textbook, how that implements and adds that much more to what it is that they're saying. So for example, if I was talking about the TV show Friends, last night we went to go to Painting with a Twist to paint on a canvas, and we painted a picture of the fountain. It had the water coming out, it had the couch, and it had the 6 umbrellas that are in the intro of the theme song for Friends. So each of the 6 umbrellas had, it represented one of the characters, different colors. It was really fun. It was a fun painting, a little difficult, but it was okay. So I could talk about that just as I did. Last night, I went to Painting with a Twist, and we painted on a canvas, had the fountain and the water and the 6 umbrellas, which represented each of the different friends. And if the students watch that, if they watch the first part and then the second part, the one with gestures and the one without, they're going to notice that, wow, if I include showing you what it was I did, the audience they get more meaning out of that than if I just stand here and talk. So it'll give them a chance to try it and then to see exactly how it looks. They'll be able to kind of evaluate themselves. Maybe they're like me. Maybe they talk too much with their hands and they need to tone it down a little bit. But that's the idea. And then once they see that and they watch videos of themselves, they can then take that and they can translate it over to being able to present to the class. And they'll have already practiced it, watched themselves, been able to kind of critique themselves, and they'll be their best judge. So that's my idea.